one of the greatest myths within the fitness industry is this concept of spot reduction. Oh, I just want to lose fat in one place or another or a few places. And unfortunately, we can't control that. On the flip side, one of the compounding myths that doesn't seem to go away, and I'd like to empower you to pursue, is this concept of spot training. So in bodybuilding, this would be known as bringing up a lagging body part. In sports performance, this would be addressing your weakness. This is a concept that might seem fundamental, but there's a couple of rules associated with it. So I wanted to break them down for you and give you an example at the end. So if you just want the example, you can scroll all the way in. I'm going to give you the example for a high frequency training program to bring up your back and your shoulders and your triceps. So again, this is a fundamental look at some rules you have to follow if you're looking to train one body part, but train it frequently in order to bring it up to speed according to maybe your genetic code, etc. But just you'd like to train it more and see what happens. So first of all, the rule here is you have to do it first. And it doesn't mean all the time in your total body workouts, but I think the placing this rule first and then doing the body part first allows you to focus energy both mentally and physically on it. So if you are doing body part splits, then this doesn't necessarily apply. But if you're doing a total body approach, then this absolutely applies. And you need to do it first. So if you want the most ridiculous abs of all time, you need to do your abs first. And that's just the priority. So that's number one. Number two, any movement restrictions that you may find. The concept here is if your upper back is tight and it's because of your lat. You can't go all the way over your head. Well, you're going to need to go all the way over your head because you're going to do pull-ups and chin-ups and body weight rows and pull-downs and close grip pull-downs. So see a massage therapist or get some ART, or self myofascial release. I think the concept of eliminating restrictions. So the second thing, eliminating restrictions in movement and or any pain associated with it is crucial. So that's number two. Number three. Full range of motion. And I think this needs emphasizing because you need to find a way to do full range. And again, I didn't say what weight to use while doing full range, but you need to get full range, and we're going to get to why in a second. The concept of getting a full range of motion means that you're going to own it, hopefully never lose it, demonstrate strength through that range of motion. And again, the strength can be you doing it. Like, I didn't say like world record strength, but the concept of demonstrating strength is your ability to put yourself through a motion. One of the concepts I'm in love with lately is not falling out of emotion. So you should always be able to do, if you had a checklist of different motions that you were doing, and exercises that you could perform, things that you could do in daily life that you never stop doing, then aging isn't as much of a factor. Maybe from a skincare perspective, but not necessarily from a musculoskeletal. So a big win there, okay, is if you can keep full range. So that's number three. Number four, this may sound counterintuitive, but exploit the partial range. And what I mean by that is you need to find what ranges of motion you struggle with. And with that, you're going to have to address it. So partial range of motions, 21s for a bicep curl, we know are super fun and effective, and it gets people to push the intensity just a little bit. But a bottom half overhead press or a chin up negative, or there's a lot of ways to do partial range of motion, but finding that partial range of motion, whether it's 1.5 reps, right? The top half overhead press, a lot of ways to do it. Floor press versus a bench press, right? They're not the same range of motion. So exploiting the same movement pattern, but in a partial range, and finding out the one that you need to work on. And then we'll go back to rule number one, which is do it first. So that might be the priority. You're going to put that one first and try to get better at that one. Number five, see the concept of frequency. So roughly 48 hours, let's say, between workouts, but give it 3 times a week. And that's, I want to say, a minimum. So it doesn't mean that you're not going to be working, I'm going to use this upper back for now, but it doesn't mean that you're not necessarily going to be working your upper back on other days, or your shoulders or your triceps when you're doing chest or overhead pressing or deadlifts. However, on the flip side, when you do your upper back and you get it kind of, you get it pumped up, you get it flared up, you're going, then you go and pursue this concept of the high frequency training program. You're going to get blood flow, not just 3 days a week, but you're going to get it 2, 3, 4 other days a week. So you're getting blood flow to the area, not necessarily straining it, but getting blood flow to the area, increasing blood flow. So you're getting nutrients, you're getting any damaged tissue, if that's the thing, taken away. So there's a win there from the frequency standpoint. So that's number 5. Now, number 6, what we're going to do is we're actually going to decrease any similar motions that we do on other days in intensity and in volume. So I like the 3x3 approach for some reason, and number 3 is the magic number right now. The 3x3 means you're going to do it 3 days a week and 3 sets each, 3 exercises each. So simple, 9 sets, 9 sets, 9 sets. Okay, and the concept there is that and I've fallen prey to this in the past with just volume, just overwhelming the body with volume. But this is just for one body part. So 27 sets for one body part per week. I think you're going to be surprised, and then you can progress from there. But I think people would tend to do on Monday 25 sets or something in one day. You know, let me overload the. Hold on, and then on the second side of it is, you know, by the time they get to Wednesday, they're like, oh man, I'm sore, I'm so tired. And then by the time they get to Friday or Saturday, they're like, what the heck? I can't even work out today. So drop the similar motions. Okay, so if you're doing pull-ups, chin-ups, pull-downs, find a way to do either a different version of each. So you can't just go heavy, 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 and then medium, 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 and then light, light, light. You have to figure out different versions for each. And this isn't complexity for the sake of conversation, but that's just to protect the joints and the central nervous system and all that. That's number 6. Number 7, I like this concept of what I just described. Okay, so but we have to be careful, meaning the concept of intensity, volume, and reps is going to be how we do the exercise. So the first exercise is going to be your highest intensity and usually weight lifted. Your second, and lowest reps, and then your second one is going to be a little bit more volume but less intensity, and then your third is going to be the highest volume but the least intensity. And so you have this inverse relationship between intensity and volume, and we're talking sets and reps, not weight lifted. But the combination there again is that you're doing kind of a strength exercise, you're doing a banded exercise last, and then in the middle you have this kind of density. You can do a density circuit, but that would be something you build up to. Again, I like this concept for people who are trying to bring up an area, because they might even feel it immediately. Like 1 week, they're like, whoa, this is crazy. So I'm big into, again, I talked about blood flow before, talked about the number 3, but the third thing I think, I'm into right now is this concept of repetition and doing something long enough so that you can that you can achieve it is one thing, but getting a short-term feedback, we know, is something that the human needs. So being able to feel the effects of a workout is important. If you do a workout and you're like, that wasn't that bad, you don't necessarily have a very positive feedback loop regarding it. You might not necessarily have the same intent to come back to it. Again, on the other side, if you have a massive soreness from it, then it's a negative feedback loop, and you're not necessarily likely to repeat it. So there's a common theme here of finding the right spot for the positive feedback loop to occur. And I think that the combination of frequency, intensity, so making sure to just be cautious as you go into it, and then varying the exercises. I do think also this is fun. I think the exercises you can perform are unique in that way. So that's the rules. So again, here's the 8 rules. Oh, 8 is 8 weeks long. You have to do it for 8 weeks long. You have to do it for 8 weeks long. You have to do it. And if you're traveling, then you front load it, or back load it. But you have to progress this over 8 weeks, and then keep track of it. It sounds simple, but those are the rules. So again, for the rules for the high frequency training template. So you have to do it first, number 1. Number 2, eliminate any movement restrictions. So ART, self-myofascial release, massage. Make sure that you do get full range of motion. That's a must. It doesn't mean all the time and every exercise, but you have to have full range of motion in the movement that you're performing. Number 4, exploit the partial range to your advantage and find out where it's at your detriment. Number 5, 3 times a week, that's the minimum. Number 6, the 3x3. Again, we talked about this in a different way, but 3 different patterns. But when you do 3 different patterns, make sure that you modify the intensity so that you're not always getting super, super high intensity and then super, super high volume, but you have kind of this periodized approach to it. Number 7, use that potent combination that I talked about before of intensity. So a higher intensity first, and second is a little bit more volume, and then the third is more volume, but less intensity. So high intensity, medium intensity, low intensity, low volume, medium volume, high volume, the kind of inverse. And then last but not least, 8 weeks long. So that's the rules for the high frequency training template. Now, let's go over the exercises, shall we? This is the bonus material for the back focus. So this will be also typed out, but what you're gonna do is 3 different back workouts. So you're gonna have a vertical pull, you're gonna have a 45-degree pull, and then a horizontal. And the concept here is that we're exposing grips, we're exposing angles, and we're exposing, again, ranges of motion. So the first one you're gonna do is a single arm pull down. I think a lot of people don't do single arm pull downs, so that's a must. That's workout 1. Single arm pull down, a face pull, number 2, and then an inverted or inverse, however you wanna put it, body weight row. So whether it's TRX, whether it's rings, whether it's a barbell, that's it. Okay, so single arm pull down, that's the heaviest. Your face pull, medium, and then your body weight, a little bit higher reps, probably 12, 15. Okay, 3 sets each, boom. Workout 2, you're gonna do a weighted pull-up of sort or a wide grip heavy lat pull down, whichever one you can do. The idea here is to keep your reps a little bit lower. Okay, so a strength exercise first, weighted pull-ups. Again, pull-up is a wide grip, chin-up is a close grip. Okay, a double lat pull down. This is a concept of like more of a bodybuilding motion, okay, with 2 arms, and it's more of a close grip situation. Love it, love it, love it. But again, it's not a strength exercise. It's more that 8, 10, 12 range. Wide grip bent over row, that's the 3rd. Okay, so not a close grip, not your elbows tucked, but more the wide grip bent over row. You can also do a single arm for the wide grip bent over row with a landmine. That's the 2nd workout. So weighted pull-ups, double lat pull down, wide grip bent over row. Number 3, the reverse grip lat pull down. Okay, very different on the scap, very different on the shoulders, bicep, tricep, you name it. So that's number 1. Or a body weight chin up. I should have that disclaimer. Number 2, a single arm 45-degree pull down. So get that angle, get that stretch, get that rotation. Big exercise here. Love it, love it, love it. And then the 3rd one is the prone row. So chest supported, the prone row, and this is with a dumbbell or kettlebell and a close grip. Okay, so again, we talked about the angles here. Each one of them, we have a wide grip, close grip, and almost like a 45-degree for each. And then we have the overhead, the 45, and then the horizontal for the pulling. So it might sound like that's it, but you do this in addition to your other workouts, 3x3, a strength, a density, and then a volume, and low intensity and a burnout for every workout, every back workout, in addition to your other workouts. Woo! I think you're gonna see a difference. Now, other ways you can do glute and quad or whatever, yeah, of course, but that is the back focus. And yeah, make sure you get a good warm up before doing it. But that's it. Hope you enjoyed 8 rules plus the bonus back focus workout. Have a great day.